motivate. Another safety that well, one thing we're gleaning from these early tight and tense this first frame, much like their only previous meeting. It was in the first round of this season's Zehuang Grand through a thriller, winning 5-4. He was 4-2 down. He made a century in the 7th frame, decider on the final black. It was a big shot to take on.
One.
And all in all, that was a very well, again, a very poor. But Wilson unable to capitalise. Well, I must say,
one.
looks like revolving around the last red.
Nine.
Now, that's one of Gary Wilson's great assets.
Gary Wilson, 12. One.
Now, that really should.
Five.
Nicely played. So it's level board. Now to the pink.
Eight. 12. 17. 23.
No mistake from Long Zehuang. He leads Gary Wilson, the defending champion here at the Bedvictor Scottish Open, by 1 frame to 0. And the other one, the last red when... Just mentioned there that Wilson initially lifted this trophy by overcoming Joe. Wilson comes through today. He might well have a rematch with O'Connor in the last 32. That's if O'Connor can beat Liu Haoshan. They played this afternoon in the last 64. Another shot that does not augur well.
One.
Stretching like that.
Eight.
For the semi-finals of the Wuhan Open. Well, his campaign in that tournament began remarkably. But Long stuck at it.
14.
He eventually put together a break of 67 in the decider. 5-1 before losing to the eventual winner, Zhao Guodong. And in that semi-final,
20.
that was nice. Fortune late October. Long Zehuang beat his fellow
27. 34.
very nice.
Forty-one.
very nice. He had just about enough angle.
$48. $54. $60.
Well, I suppose you could say that was a slightly risky shot. Surprised if he missed it.
$66.
Wants some more. Wants to make a century.
Zehuang. 56. 66.
Now, Gary Wilson, one of those. He needs two.
Oh. Zehuang.
Caught the pink first there, so surely that is the against Stuart Bingham.
One.
Now that's more like it. That's the best shot of the match so far.
Nine. $17.
He's okay. Avoiding all contact, and now
23.
he scored pretty well this season. Only reached the quarterfinals there. And still made 7.
$38.
It's the last red with the rest in the first frame. This is a real linchpin shot. Two 0 down. Those kind.
44. Yeah. 52. Gary Wilson, 50.
Now to put together a meaningful counter-attack. Missed two big shots in the first frame, though, using the rest. So there must be question marks over this. Yeah, indeed. Oh, and he's removed the only awkward red on the table. So
One. Eight. $16.
but blacks off the spot can be tricky. This one falling into that category, especially because he's mindful of a red maybe being in the way slightly. Now, long after position.
$24. $32. $38.
What about position? Champion Gary Wilson staring at the possibility of a 3-0 deficit.
$45.
Just overscrewing on the but every time.
$49.
Long Zehuang cleared last reel from a much more hefty deficit.
52.
Oh, can you believe that?
52.
Absolutely elementary brown. Never have expected. The rest again, letting Wilson down. The brown isn't on. It's one of those frames. Whoever loses it is going to feel. Well determine the eventual winner. Psychologically, this is such a massive frame. Won't be. This time, though, and who can blame him? Being much more cautious. Well, long Zehuang has got a reasonable... has the chance. That level board, remember, 52-52. Both players need brown, blue and pink. And using the rest has been Wilson's obvious failing in this match. What about long? Plenty of speed on this brown. Oh, but the speed is killed by a pretty much full. And that time, he finds the target. And so with the 6 points given away by Long, this is frame ball.
9.
Wilson will be so relieved.
Gary Wilson, 9.
Only one snooker needed. Winning frames after needing a snooker with pink and black on the table. Well, it doesn't happen very often. Wilson, though, just battling. And he trees Wilson, but he just about got through and then gained in confidence, gained in potency as the event went on. Today, I think it's all about the result, not the performance. Just get the win, get embedded into the tournament. Keep that one out. So the pink goes in.
And 6. Frame, Gary Wilson.
So does the cue ball, actually. The pink would have been replaced and Long would have needed a couple of snookers, but he decides enough is enough. Really, it should be 3-0 to Long. He missed that very... Wilson made plenty of mistakes in frame 3, but he won it regardless. A very poor break-off. I mentioned on the one-season points list.
One.
And Long Zehuang could possibly be there. An elementary pot that he couldn't quite complete.
Six. Thank you.
When you've made a mistake.
14.
That's why this visit is so important. Well, I think he deserves. But he's just allowed the cue ball to.
Lonzy hit.
Another safety from Long that wasn't on the button.
1.
Safety up there.
Long Zehuang. 8. Oh, no miss.
Of the Scottish Open in the past.
One.
That was better.
6. Oh.
Oh, Gary, you cannot miss blacks off the spot. So, in light of that fact, I think he's keeping his discipline reasonably okay. Quarter-final, he was 5-3 up on Zhu Sir, lost 6-5. And ever since, he's been having a rough old time of it. And today, there's no sign his best form is about to return. No.
One.
Solid pot bulk. This 34-point lead is quite useful.
Long here. 1.
Yeah, made even more so by intentionally taking the pink. Go 2-0 up. Should have won the third from 52-0 down, but missed a sitter of a brown. And that's why we have a pool background. Gary Wilson over the last few years has been playing quite a few ton of reds over this top left-hand to a re-rack.
Six.
Really good. He's not got his best form. He's been guilty of numerous mistakes. But by the way, on the other table, level terms. The pink, but if he clears that far, he won't need it. And now, testing shots, so often you see them undercut. Exactly like that.
31.
And worse still for Wilson. The red he missed went past the pink. Can't quite up and down twice. Back down a third time. Oh, nowhere near. Nowhere near.
6.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he's... Wilson could see the red, but not the potting angle. This frame in progress for 37 minutes.
One.
Always been a good doubler.
Bingo. Gary Wilson, 1.
Good thinking from Wilson. Oh, but that's calamitous. That is calamitous. He's going to mess up here. The answer's no. 12 in front with the 4 penalty points. Make that 14 now.
Five.
In frame 3. But lightning, of course, doesn't strike twice. And that is that. Defending champion Gary Wilson.
And the frame.
It was all about the in-off on the yellow. When the cue ball went into the pocket, you knew that Gary Wilson would be 2 down with a possible 3 to play. Zehuang leads 3-1. Over the course of the last 2 years, in being the man, Wasn't the best there from Long Zehuang, was it? The clinching frame is always the toughest to win. As we've said, for many reasons, it's a big match, this, for Long Zehuang.
One.
Currently, only the top 64 at the end of the season keep their cards. If Long does get into the 64, you keep all your points and everything is rosy. That's the big target for him. Serious jeopardy, especially now with this scoreline. He needs a snooker. Sometimes we can analyse these matches and bring in all kinds. And another opportunity comes the way of the defending champion. And this is a clear-cut chance.
One.
Now they're the only game out there. Zhang Ganda did defeat Stan Moody for
7.
Wakelin or Scott Donaldson in the last 32. Even though he's not been feeling it, and will believe in the frame at this visit.
22.
And I think the pace he's playing at. Low.
36.
Generates some momentum. Anyone who writes him off does so at their peril. Gary.
43. One.
It's one. Might you regard being asked to play at 10 o'clock in the morning on day one as something of a snub?
9.
And plenty of open balls to zone in on. Oh! but then
Long Zehuang.
a simple black, a routine black off its spot.
One.
Gary Wilson originally turned professional, is also struggling to get over the line. Oh, but then again, you see,
Wilson, one. One.
what a... And that was almost another one. Now this, yes, it's close to the pocket, the red, but it's not easy.
Thank you. One.
No, he's played. On.
Nine.
How did that drop? How did that drop? Well, several. Long Zehuang could have wrapped it up at 4-1. As it is,
21. 23.
Wilson clearly unhappy with.
26.
And Long Zehuang, certainly on the evidence of frame 5, is feeling
50.
the nerves.
Five.
On we go. A little bit of release for Gary Wilson. But of course, the battle will be resumed in frame 6. Long Zehuang now leads only 3. That's all conjecture. Stuart Bingham faces Jimmy Robertson.
One.
Well, that's a good start.
Thank you. 5.
Smattering of applause. Where's the blue?
Long Zehuang, 5.
For Long Zehuang. Long Cleared yellow to pink to go 3-1 ahead. Another shot that will annoy Wilson. It's not worked.
One.
That was a bonus. Now what about the...
Gary Wilson, 1.
Because the reds were clustered together, he didn't... Their availability is limited.
1.
Bold and outstanding. Now the ideal scenario there would have...
7.
Now that was nicely done. Very well cued.
$11.
And suddenly he could be in business.
Well,
another good one required here.
Zehuang, 12.
Well, at least... Play that with lots of check side. That made the shot more difficult. But there's no point having a fluke if you don't take advantage of it.
Four.
Now this helps. It looks as though Gary Wilson's grip on this Bedford deep, whether there might be a 3-ball plant on there. Oh, well, first he's got to knock in the red.
16. 1.
Not a bad effort, that one.
8.
He could.
1. Eddie Wilson, 1.
Well, the only good thing about that shot, because he overcut the pink, the cue ball ran on a little. Now, that was a really good pot from Zehuang, and a really good kiss as well. That was frame, and most likely. He shouldn't have been going anywhere near that middle pocket, and he's left the red as well.
1. Eddie Wilson, 8.
It's not just about laying snookers, it's about... Zehuang is wide of the red, and so the 4 penalty points. Is it possible the defending champion can dig himself out of this hole? Nowhere near. Nowhere near hard enough.
Oh, no miss. Eddie Wilson.
Not just hitting the red, but hitting it in such a way he didn't leave it. Nevertheless, Wilson retains the... Or at least he did. Fighting for his life. Has to be careful with the close proximity of white and red. And he was too careful. He was too tentative.
One.
What a turnaround in fortunes here. That's been awkward pretty much all frame. That's the big hope for Zehuang. It's the big hurdle.
Hit.
That's okay. That's more than okay.
$11.
Oh, you cannot believe it. Oh, and that surely is that. Gary Wilson has won 14 consecutive matches. But it looks as though a third straight Scottish Open title. 18 on. By potting the blue.
Bye.
Oh, well, that means he now needs one. This match has had far more drama than quality. Wow, again, he's defying all of the preferably into the pocket. And that is that. It was terrific while it lasted for Gary Wilson. Twice Bed Victor Scottish Open champion. But there will be no hat-trick. And that's because the man from the northeast of England has been defeated by Zehuang of China. The final score in a real battle, 4-2. So in 15 minutes' time, check out Eurosport, where